The number 10 reason I am off Team Coronaphobia is this. It's very simple. The initial model was dead wrong. Of course, we're talking about the Imperial Model by Neil Ferguson. Number 9, the lockdown failed. A great article from Bloomberg looked at all of Europe. The data showed that the relative strictness of a country's containment measures had little bearing on its membership in any of the 3 groups above. We weren't supposed to be locked down forever. We were just supposed to flatten the curve so that we could ease up the pressure on our hospitals, but that changed, didn't it? They moved the goalposts. Now we're locked down until there's a vaccine. Number 8, here it is, nursing home neglect. Now, we're being told the entire point of what we're doing is to protect the elderly, right? But we didn't protect nursing homes, as we are now seeing in New York, and multiple governors are being questioned on this. Why did you send sick people right into the nursing homes? In fact, wrote a law that said you are not allowed to turn away someone that's sick going into a nursing home. 1/3 of U.S. deaths are nursing homes, and 1/5 of New York deaths are in nursing homes. Number 7. Social distancing is unscientific. 2-meter social distancing rule was conjured out of nowhere. There's never been a scientific basis for 2 meters. It's kind of a rule of thumb, but it's not like there's a whole kind of rigorous scientific literature that is founded upon. But hey, let's go ahead and make the entire world do it anyway. Number 6, masks are a joke.
Medical masks like this one cannot protect against the new coronavirus when used alone.
When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is.
Masks are really not necessary, and they may actually be unhelpful.
But don't get a false sense of security that that mask is protecting you exclusively from getting infected, because there are other ways that you can get infected.
WHO only recommends the use of masks in specific cases.
And if you're not sick, you shouldn't be wearing a medical mask. But if you are, then you should.
People who are sick wear a mask. We recommend that people who are around someone who's COVID positive wear a mask, but do not recommend that the general public wears masks as a protective mechanism.
If you do not have these symptoms, you do not have to wear masks.
5, blocked effective treatments. This is something that actually is quite dire. Do you know that there are over 200 studies and trials around the world showing that hydroxychloroquine works? Talk about effective treatments. What would have been effective is giving people oxygen. Since this was a blood illness where they are not carrying the oxygen correctly, instead we put them on ventilators. 9 out of 10 people on ventilators died. This was not the right treatment. How many people did we kill? Number 4, doctors screwed up. When I worked on the Doctors television show as a producer where I won an Emmy Award, I was there for 6 years. I have scrubbed into hundreds of surgeries, ORs. I had to put on all the equipment, and I would go in with a camera and I would shoot the surgeries. And I watched amazing miracle workers do their job. I love great doctors and I love great scientists. But when we found the cutting-edge doctors doing something no one had done before, they were always under medical review. Their license was always attacked by their peers who wanted to stick with business as usual. Anybody that steps out and uses critical thinking and decides to do something in a new way, the pioneers, we assault the pioneers. We arrest the pioneers. We destroy the pioneers' credibility. Number 3, the vaccine is still a unicorn. Every animal trial of a coronavirus vaccine up until this point had a caution at the end. It said, caution proceeding to application of a SARS-CoV vaccine in humans is indicated. We need to be very careful because these animals got so sick. It reminded us of 2 children that died doing RSV vaccination attempt where they suffered the same thing. It's called antibody immune enhancement. It looks like you're healthy, like the 8 people that have some antibodies right now over at Moderna has got everybody jumping up and down like they really won something. But the truth is that may be the first sign that they're on their way to getting really sick. Why? Because even though the animals had antibodies, they didn't seem to have a big reaction to the vaccine. The moment they came in contact with the actual virus in the challenge study, they overreacted. They had cytokine storm, massive upper respiratory failure. Number 2, the death rate mirrors a bad flu. We have studies from USC now, Stanford, Germany, all around the world. The data is in. Millions of people have gotten the freaking disease now. If Deborah Birx is telling you, we just don't have the data yet, I really wonder how capable she is of calculating what data actually is. We're at 0.1 to 0.3%. Based on all the models now from around the world, based on real data. 99% of you will have little to no symptoms at all. We're telling every doctor, no matter what they died of, really, if they died with coronavirus, say they died of coronavirus. If you come in, you get paid about $13,000. If you put someone on a ventilator, you get another $39,000. All of this is bloating the amount of deaths. Moving on to number one. Here we go, the moment you've been waiting for. The cure is worse than the problem. Between 30 and 50,000 people die per 1 percentage point of increase in unemployment. Well, if we're talking about 20 to 30% unemployment, that means we may have over 1 million deaths here in America because of the lockdown. We also know that millions are currently afraid to seek medical care, or their doctor isn't even working because in the infinite wisdom of those suffering from coronaphobia, they said, let's cut half of the hospital staff. Let's get rid of heart doctors. Let's get rid of oncologists. Let's get rid of those appointments with check to see if you have diabetes. This has been all over the news if your eyes were open.